Hey guys, Sam here, and welcome to another review. No, I did not die. I'm back at college, I'm doing mostly voiceover for this review, and I'm reviewing an episode from a Nickelodeon show that I grew up with, Danny Phantom. Along with other hits like SpongeBob, Fairly OddParents, Avatar, Jimmy Neutron, and more, Danny Phantom was another iconic 2000s cartoon that I grew up with. Airing from 2004 to 2007 for 3 seasons and 53 episodes, the show was about a teenage boy named Danny Fenton who becomes a superhero when he accidentally turns himself into a half-ghost. He lives in Amity Park with his 2 parents, Jack and Maddie, and her older sister Jazz, and he also has 2 best friends, Sam and Tucker. Throughout the show, he goes through the typical teenage dilemmas while also battling all kinds of ghosts that escape through the ghost portal. Some include Skulker, the Box Ghost, Vortex, Ember, and of course, Vlad Plasmius. In my opinion, I enjoyed the show when I was younger, and I still like it now. It had some great animation, some good action, and very imaginative villains, and Danny himself is a pretty relatable, cool, and iconic character. But it wasn't always perfect. First of all, Butch wasn't the only one that made it good. Period. Next, there are some things that didn't hold up too well, like some cliches, some of the dialogue, some of the comedy, a few of the characters, and some fans didn't like how the last season, especially its finale, ended things. They were kind of like this.
And drink a bit. Oh, this is good. This is peach syrup, tinned peach syrup. What a drink! So I drank the lot. Smell it. Oh yes, this is peach syrup again. Lift the jug and drink some more, and drink some more. Drink the lot. What's in it? A syrup. Yes, here we go again. Lift the jug and fill my mouth with that thick, sweet juice.
Yeah, pretty much. As for me, I haven't seen every single episode of Season 3 yet, but I do want to talk about one Season 3 episode that I think some may agree is one of the better episodes in the season. That episode is called Frightmare. I do remember watching this growing up, and I did like it. It felt quite eerie and stood out amongst the other episodes I saw. Do I still think that way today? If so, what did make it stand out? Well, let's find out. And before we start, here's a reminder. Yada yada yada. Good, great. Alright, let's begin. So it starts with Danny being the most popular kid in school. Yeah, he gets A's in his classes, he's the star quarterback, the jocks like him, all the girls like him, and when a ghostly threat comes to Amity Park, not only do they all know his secret identity, but they also tell him to go get that creep. And that's exactly what he does. Danny takes him down quite easily, gets a round of applause from his peers, and eventually gets to sit right next to his girlfriend, Sam. But just when everything seems so perfect, and it looks like it'll end with a kiss like a happily ever after ending, Danny wakes up. Turns out it was all a dream, and Danny is on a rock in the ghost zone. But why? Well, he finds out right away. When he gets home, he finds out that a bunch of green ghosts called sleepwalkers put not just his family and friends to sleep, but put everyone in town to sleep. They all have these metal helmets on that keeps them that way, and if anyone tries to take them off, they get shocked. So who leads the sleepwalkers? Well, they're led by this guy, Nocturne. Turns out he and Danny had fought earlier, but Nocturne got the better of Danny by knocking him out and placing the metal helmet on him. He uses these helmets to make the people have their most perfect dreams. The more they like it, the harder it is for them to wake up. While they dream, Nocturne uses their dreams as energy to make himself and his army stronger, and his ultimate goal is to remain all-powerful by putting everyone in the world to sleep. And by everyone, I do mean everyone! So Danny manages to subdue Nocturne and the Sleepwalkers, but only temporarily. He figures that if he's gonna beat them, he needs an army of his own. So he decides to wake up his friends, but how can he do it without getting shocked? Well, that's when he remembered how he woke up. He was so surprised that he was about to kiss Sam that it woke him up and destroyed the helmet. So he figures that if he gives his friends an unexpected surprise, they'll wake up too. And that's what he does. He goes inside their dreams and gives Tucker, Sam, and his sister Jazz a shock. Now that they're all awake, he gives them all the details about Nocturne, his army, and they manage to find his base, which happens to be a mattress factory. Get it? They find Nocturne hibernating in some kind of capsule. There's also an antenna up on top that takes all the dreams in town, but they can't just break them out with their own bare hands, so they come up with a plan. While Jazz and Tucker stay behind to fend off the sleepwalkers and destroy the device, Danny and Sam go inside Nocturne's dream to wake him up. At first, the attempt seems futile since Nocturne and his army are getting stronger. But in the nick of time, Tucker shuts down the device and saves Jazz from the sleepwalkers. With the device gone, Nocturne is now weak, which means that Danny and Sam could do some damage now. They turn his perfect dream into a nightmare, wake him up, tell him that his plan has failed, and they suck him into the canister. After it's over, Danny and the others just sit and talk about their dreams. When Danny and Sam are asked about theirs, they kinda lie by saying that they don't remember them. I mean, come on. Gateway to the subconscious dreams are? My ass, no way. And the episode ends with them looking away from each other, blushing. The end. So that's the episode. What are my thoughts? Well, I'll say this right off the bat. I love the villain. Nocturne is an awesome ghost villain. His design is fantastic, the way he moves is creepy, and he has an amazing voice.
I travel from town to town, absorbing the energy from dreams. With billions of people in your realm, imagine the energy there is to harvest.
Ooh, it just sounds so intimidating and creepy. I'll bet you a couple bucks that this guy was kind of a boogeyman for some kids who watched this episode afterwards. And honestly, when you really think about it, his plan is actually kind of terrifying. We've seen villains like Scarecrow and Mad Hatter who use either gas or technology to transport people into the last place they want to be. But there are times where they do break through that formula. In fact, there was a Batman animated series episode that had Bruce wake up in a world where everything is perfect. His parents are here, he's dating Selena Kyle, and someone else is doing the Batman stuff. But of course, Bruce finds out right away that it's not really all that it seems, and he eventually finds out what's really going on. That was a very dramatic and downright eerie episode from the show. Is Frightmare as dramatic as that episode? No, but instead of having one person in a supposed perfect dream, it's everybody. Danny's friends, family, the citizens, and even dogs. To be in a state where you might never be able to wake up again is kinda scary.
Stealing is such an ugly word. I prefer the term harvest. Dreams are the gateway to the subconscious. My army will keep the world asleep so that I may remain all-powerful.
That concept is also why I love this villain so much. It's a shame that he was only in one episode, but for just one appearance, he did make the most of it. But the episode isn't just eerie and creepy. It does have some good action here and there that show off many of Danny's cool powers, and there are some good bits of comedy too. I think the funniest moments come when Danny gets his friends awake. In Tucker's dream, he's rich, he has a mansion, and he has girls who fawn over him. It's the typical teenage boy dream. But there's one problem that Danny takes issue with. He's Tucker's janitor. Not only is his reaction to that hysterical, but the way he wakes up Tucker is funny too.
I can't neglect you, my pet.
Seriously, I'm your janitor?
Then there's the way he wakes up Sam. Turns out she has the exact same dream Danny has. I'll talk about that later. Anyway, Danny decides to shock Sam awake by possessing the bully Dash and make him say, "Oh no, I'm Danny Phantom, going ghost!" And that's how he gets Sam to wake up. That's gotta be the funniest out of context moment in the show's history, at least in my opinion. And speaking of Dash, Danny ended up using him to wake up Jazz too. Turns out Jazz was married to him in her dream. Man, could you imagine what Danny and Jazz's parents were dreaming about? Or Vlad, or even the dog? Honestly, the rest of the episode is decent. The comedy, the action, the concept, and the climax are all decent. Even the stuff with Danny and Sam is okay. The idea that they have the exact same perfect dream is kinda sweet. It might be a little too cliche, but I don't really mind it so much. Now, if you are wondering what I think of these two as a couple, I'd say they're fine. I'm not the biggest fan of this couple, but I don't hate it either. They wouldn't make my list of best cartoon ships, but they aren't the worst couple ever. I think it's just average. You know, boy and girl being best friends for a long time, they deny their feelings for each other, and then eventually by the end of the series, they do get together. It's okay, at least to me. And when it comes to the ships that include the goth girl, I've seen better and worse. But is there actually stuff in this episode that holds it back from being great? Yes, there is. First off, the dream and sleep puns can get old after a while. Dream on, sweet dreams. Blah. You want to hear a good joke about sleep? Here's one. Scientists have finally discovered exactly how much sleep a human being needs. Just 5 minutes more. See? Better. I'm not saying all of them are terrible, they're just too cliched and not that funny. Maybe it could make you laugh, but it did make me laugh. Also, there are some animation goofs here and there. Here's one example. Jazz was sleeping on her bed in one scene, but in another she's sleeping at her desk. If you want to see more goofs, you can check out the wiki. Anyway, despite the goofs and the cliched lines, the episode is nice. Again, like I said before, there are some good bits of comedy, the action was nice, the villain is amazing, and the concept really is eerie, interesting, and kinda scary. And if you are someone that is looking for a Season 3 episode that is good, check this one out. The final score I'll give this episode is a 7.5 out of 10. I do recommend it, especially if you are looking for something good in Danny Phantom Season 3. Okay, now here are a few fun facts. One of the people that's wearing one of Nocturne's helmets is someone that looks like an older version of AJ from the Fairly OddParents. Number 2, the title Frightmare has been used a lot. There are a couple movies that have that title, there is a video game called that, one of the mini games in Mario Party 3 is called Frightmare, and even a professional wrestler is called Frightmare. Number 3, this dog right here does kind of look like Scooby-Doo, just without the black patches. Number 4, this is one of the few times that Tucker uses another device to hack something instead of his own usual PDA. And number 5, the person who did the voice of Nocturne is James Garrett, the same person who did the voice of Roku from Avatar. He also has done work as Alfred Pennyworth in some DC animated superhero movies, and he did the voice of Jubal Khalid in the video game Kingdoms of Amular: Re-Reckoning.
That you are here at all is a godsend. The creature that has stalked the minds of our savants, Nuala, Kadok, and Ethan. She is here. She has come for me, at last.
Huh, no wonder I recognize that voice. He could be a man full of wisdom, a comforting character to lean on, or he could be a psychotic ghost who wants to steal your dreams. What a sweetheart. Okay, now it is time for a few jokes.
Sweet! Must be nice, Fenton, being a superhero and having a harem of girls all lovesick for you.
Hey, don't give the Rule 34 artists any ideas, Dash. They've done it already, haven't they? Son of a bitch.
Come on, guys. You know, there's only one girl for me.
I sure hope you're talking about me.
What? Okay, who did that? Gotcha! Ha ha ha, very funny. Katie's name is Sam. My name is Sam. Go to a comedy club show. You'll definitely work out there.
I am Nocturne, the ghost of sleep. And what I want, I already have. Your dreams. The dreams of everyone in this town. I travel from town to town, absorbing the energy from dreams.
I take every dream you can imagine. Visitation dreams, lucid dreams, healing dreams, and of course, wet dreams. I prefer to stay away from those.
Did I just dream that I was a professor at Yale and married to Dash?
Yep, Dash has really come in handy today. He's like the poster boy for nightmares.
And that's not the only poster boy for nightmares. There's the wearing only your underwear to school nightmare, demon nightmares, and... Mickey? Sorry, I couldn't help it.
You gotta hand it to the guy. He's got a vision.
Could be worse. It could be inside the mind of this guy. Also, side note, your thumbnails suck. Are you ever gonna not use a repetitive picture of you face palming or giving a thumbs down? Your ignorance and insensitivity are bad enough, but how about some originality? Maybe have your hands in the air or make a different face. That and maybe go outside? Just a suggestion. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, let me know about your thoughts on Danny Phantom, Season 3, and or this episode in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, my name is Sam, and good night everybody.